Hi, it's Lenneke from Len's Crafty Life, and I wanted to share with you what I made for Done by Dorothy. I'm on her design team, and she lets us pick something from her Etsy shop, and of course I'll pop a link to her Etsy shop below this video, so please do check that out. And what I picked for this project was the butterfly cigarette cards. Now, personally, I'm not into cigarettes, so I was kind of like, but they are just so beautiful that I just had to pick them. So she has two sets, basically. These are ones that I have left over from the page that I used, but they are absolutely beautiful. I really love these, and you can do so much with this, and which I'll show you. I've got it here on the side, but let me just first show you these beautiful papers, these beautiful butterflies that you get. So these are the larger ones. Then this one, okay, I was playing around with it. This is from the other set, but this one I printed out a bit smaller. This is from the what she calls the stamp set. So these are square. These were, you know, rectangular, obviously, like the original cards. And this is the set. This is again the set, but I blew it up larger. And so this is from the postage stamp set. So she has two sets. And let me show you what I made. Now, I use the larger sheet with the wider cigarette cards, the full cigarette cards, and I wanted to make a tag with it. Now, of course, you can make a tag like that because they are quite wide, you know, and put it in sideways if you use it in a journal. But I thought, let's make a giant tag and put them up straight on the tag. So I used these two butterfly cigarette cards, and this is some this back paper. It's from a Dutch book about flowers in certain areas that grow in the nature, certain areas here in the Netherlands where I live. And this was actually like an image of the layers of the ground. And I thought that like it goes from dark to lighter and lighter. And I thought that would just make an excellent background for a very natural, kind of vintagey looking tag. Then this paper, and you see some letters on it, is actually some leftover paper that I used for my very first project for Done by Dorothy, and I used a kit for that, and I keep calling it the Jane Eyre kit. It's not the Jane Eyre kit, that's not what it's called. Anyway, it has beautiful papers. I'll pop a link down below this video as well. To that kit and to my first project that I made with that kit. Beautiful papers. This is what I had left over. And here you can just see the leftovers of the Eyre, E and the Y. So here it actually says Jane Eyre. And very vintagey, beautiful papers. So what else did I do? I popped on, this is some muslin that I inked with the ink that I used for this project. Was not vintage photo, I've used it on another. This is the walnut stain, and I used that around the cards as well to age it a bit. And then lastly, almost lastly, I had this strip of paper just in my snippet box, my paper snippet box, and I had already stamped on it. And then I put some vintage buttons on there and made a little hole, and I put some ribbon in there, and I tied the ribbon around with some twine, and I put a bit of a little dot of hot glue there just to keep it together. And this is the back, so that would look pretty in a vintage journal. Then I made, so yeah, I didn't make a journal this time. As you can see, I made some ephemera to go in a journal or just as gifts. This is a little booklet with basically leftover snippets, trying to use up my snippets from my paper, my snippet paper box, some coffee night papers. This is some actually a wrapping paper, brown paper that came in a package, more coffee night paper, some ledger paper. This is some book paper. And this, of course, can be used in a journal either just as a little notebook. This folds out, so you have a longer piece of that. As a little notebook, or, you know, you can tear bits and pieces off if I put this in a journal and the one who gets the journal wants to make more embellishments himself or herself. Again, some muslin here, and this is some paper that I had already. It was already tainted like that. And I thought it was perfect because there was like this side strip, so I thought that would be perfect for a little booklet. And then some, this is a paper from a book, and the script was already stamped on there. Hope I'm in focus. Sorry about that. Wasn't in focus, was I? I'm really sorry. A little bit of lace, again some muslin behind it, and some buttons. And I put in 2 staples, and I was first thinking of covering that over with some bit of lace, but since they're bronze staples, it kind of adds to the vintagey look of it. So I actually didn't really mind that, so I left the staples just as they are. Then I made a card. Now this card can either go in the journal or you can just send it to somebody, and I absolutely love this card. Now I was actually crafting with my friend once a week, or usually once a week, sometimes bi-weekly. I go to a friend, and if it's nice weather we go for a walk, but if it's raining we craft. And I use some of the paper that she had, this beautiful paper, and the back of that paper with the flowers is actually that paper, the pink one with the dots. So then this is just some cardstock that I had, creamy colored. I folded it in half. The inside is just empty. Then this is again from some packaging, some corrugated cardboard, and I went over that with walnut stain again. Then again a little piece of the card, which is exactly this card. I inked around it with vintage photo. Then the paper from my friend, a bit of music paper that I've torn out again from my snippet box, and this paper that I had from my friend with the flowers. I decided to give it a few tears, and I went around it with some with the scissors to age the edges. And where I tore it, over there and over there, you can see a little bit of the music paper, and I just really like that. Well, we call it a key. I don't know if you call it a key. The music key, just peeking through that little hole. And again, you can see the pink on the inside, or on the other side of this beautiful flower paper. Then I put on this lacy trim, and then the cigarette card with a beautiful butterfly on the pink cardboard. And in between the layers, like these two are one layer, I put some, you can just about see it over there, I hope, I put some foam, so this actually pops up, and here I popped it up as well. You can just see a bit of foam peeking through. And then lastly I added a little bit of bling. So that is the card that I made. And then lastly, again for in a journal, I altered a paperclip. Now this is actually a very large paperclip, and I put it on the side because then you can keep the butterfly upright and put it on the side of your page. Say if this is the page of your journal, you can put it in just like that, just for decoration, but you can put some goodies, like even the tag, you can pop it behind there and it will keep the tag in place on its page, or whatever you want to pop in between. So that's the way it works. I'm sure you'll probably know. So again, the creamy cardboard that I used, I put that in between the large paperclip, and then this is the larger leg, if that's what you call it. The shorter leg is like in between these two layers. So again, this cardstock was already colored like that. It just went around it with vintage photo. I glued it on there with a little bit of hot glue to keep it secure where the paperclip actually is. Then again, a little bit of the music paper, some trim that I have frayed, and of course the beautiful card with a gorgeous butterfly, again with vintage photo around it. And I had these little pearly dots on there. They're like flat back pearls, but in kind of a flat goldeny color, which I thought went well. So that's all that I made for this project. You can see that you can do lots and lots of different things. You can alter glassine bags with it, or use these even in window envelopes. If you have an old envelope that you change or alter, a used envelope with the window, they would go in there perfectly behind a little window in a journal or in any other make. They're absolutely gorgeous. I really love this. So please do check out her Etsy shop, and the links to these beautiful kits, the butterfly kit, the Jane Eyre kit, which is not called Jane Eyre, I'm sorry, you'll find it down below. And thanks for watching, and have a great day. Bye bye.